Starlog episode 4, and today we have a special guest, but also my voice is
Better.
80% back.
It's not quite
It's getting there. We're making progress.
But to be fair, was your voice ever, good? Would anyone miss it? I don't know.
No.
I kind of liked the bad voice. Even though I kept saying bad voice, I was very entertained.
Bad voice.
Yeah. In our last... So you probably haven't seen it yet. We haven't posted it. But in the last episode that we recorded, 2 days ago, because literally we're recording these, essentially back-to-back in the same week. But
Yeah, we're marathoning Starlog.
Berkan was so sick, as I'm sure you know, but because we were recording an episode, his voice sounded like he was in middle school going through puberty again.
Yeah, Allyson, how do you feel about
Starlog
the...
episode 3!
How do you feel about the fact that I flashed Michael? Or I'm sorry, I mooned Michael.
I feel like it's nothing that he hasn't seen before.
Have you ever seen my butt?
In my dreams, all the time.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Every
yeah.
night.
That makes me feel
No,
pretty good, actually.
that tracks. I can
goes without
totally
saying.
see that. But no, I'm sure it wasn't anything new for you.
No, Allyson, I'm so excited that you're our first guest and that you're
Thanks.
here.
I know. I feel so honored. I'm part of the club. So
Yeah.
it's definitely an honor to
Well,
be
we
first.
we talk to you every time before we record this. We're always talking to you afterwards.
Yeah.
We're always telling you what went on in here immediately afterwards, and you're kind of giving us
Well, I can hear it.
yeah.
Y'all are having a good time in here, and I'm in the living room, reading a book. That's
That
about
sounds like
it.
a good
That's
time.
it. That's all that I do.
Chilling.
Sounds like
But for those who haven't caught on yet, Allyson is my lovely wife.
Yes.
So of course we had to sneak her in at some point, and
first guest just seemed like the sneakiest place to sneak you
exactly,
in.
exactly.
Hey, yeah, no, that's such
Exactly.
an honor.
But yeah, I mean, Allison's been obviously she's a big part of my life, but she's actually a big part of Michael's life too, because Allison at one point was Michael's boss.
Oh yes. So we all used to work in an aquarium together.
Yeah, and to address the elephant in the room, she was my boss as well.
Yes.
You know what? Believe it or not, Michael is one of the best employees I think, honestly, I've ever had.
I'm a solid employee.
You really were, though.
I feel like everyone always thinks that I won't be. Here's the
No.
Was I not?
thing.
Ooh, anyway.
I was
No,
pretty good at my job. Okay.
You were good at aspects of your job, but there were jobs that I really needed you to be good at and you weren't good at.
Whoa, let's dive into that. Let's dive into that. Wait a second.
Well-
What aspects of the job was Berkan not good at?
Right. So, I mean, one of the biggest parts of an aquarium is to keep the tanks clean. And I can attest now that not much has changed from the time he was. How old were you when we met?
I was 18.
Are you
No,
serious?
technically I was 17 when we met.
That upsets me. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I was 17. Allison and I met of May 2016. She had just graduated from Baylor. I was right about to graduate from high school, and we started dating that December when I was 18. To
right.
clarify.
Well, okay. Well, anyway, I mean, he was 18, and I was like, you know what? He can't keep the tanks clean. I'll let it slide since he's younger. But even now, being married, we've been together for what, 7 years now.
Yep, going on
It's
7.
not changed. So
Okay.
hindsight, it makes more sense. But
In my
the-
defense, the
No.
tanks, the smudges were very difficult to see, and I have an eye condition.
and
Allison,
he says
in
that
my
all the
defense.
time,
Allison,
and that can't
It's
be
a
nice.
it's a valid
I feel like,
excuse.
are you going to use that for our home when our home is dirty?
Condition.
I have an eye.
There's
I literally cannot see it.
There's clothes all over the floor and boxes
can't
everywhere, and he's like,
see
I
it.
can't
I
see,
can't
Allison. I have an eye
see."
condition. He hasn't made the bed. He's like, my eye condition, Allison.
Yeah, so I had to write him up though because of this reason. And it was uncomfortable because everybody knew that we were dating. We were very popular as a couple there.
Yeah, you guys were a power couple in the aquarium. I can attest.
Yeah. So he was good with like the pizzazz and like the interaction with people because you have to entertain people at the aquarium. It's not just the animals that have to entertain. It's we the people.
Yeah, we the people.
So, you know what I mean? So, Berkan was good at that part. The cleaning was atrocious. But I feel like Michael, so you worked at admissions. I think I had met you because I didn't hire you, did I?
No, I had been hired. I'd been hired at Legoland. They're run by the same parent company, which is Merlin, and they're right across the hall from each other in the mall. And these both of these attractions are in a mall, for those listening. And I had been hired at one location at Legoland for a summer, and then I went to school, and then I came back, and I just switched locations, and it was super easy because they're the same company.
Yeah.
And so you didn't hire me. I think it was Jason who hired. Jason did
But
my
you were
interview.
there like when I was there when you switched over, yeah?
Yes, you were my trainer or something. Not trainer, but like you my manager.
Well, no, technically,
Almost
technically that first like
my
because you
PTO
came in,
went through you. Like
you
when I would
came-
ask for a day off, for some reason you were the one who would.
So you started at Sea Life at a winter break for a few weeks, and Allison and I were on the education team, which at the time was separate from admissions. So that first stint with Sea Life, she wasn't your boss, but then that summer when you came back, things merged. So
Did I meet you for the first time in admissions?
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, eventually.
And I'm sure Berkan was like, I've got a crush on this girl right here. And I was probably like scoping. I was probably like, like before we met, I had probably like known who you were.
Yeah, I had just taken Allison on our first date when you started at Sea Life admissions.
Gotcha.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
Well,
didn't
yeah,
really
I
know
mean,
that either. I didn't know the timeline.
I know everything.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway, it's kind of on you for knowing exactly like what Berkan was like and then marrying him anyway. Like you were like, this dude
But
is so messy. I want him in my life forever. Like I want to, you know.
I didn't realize that it was going to continue over the next 6 years. People evolve, Michael.
Do you know what's
People,
really messed up?
They grow, they adapt, they learn, they evolve.
That
and
really
I
shows how much you know about Berkan because this motherfucker hasn't changed.
But like,
in
right
at least the past
now,
10
I know.
years.
And again, I go back to hindsight, but
waiting
back
and
to
hoping.
Michael as an employee. I just
Oh,
wanted to compliment you.
stop,
You
stop,
honestly were
stop.
easily one of the best employees I had. Like in admissions, I would remember that we had all of these incentives, you know, that we wanted you to sell these extra like what were those called? Like the
Mission packs.
mission packs, yeah.
Something like that,
And
yeah.
you were exceeding
I was-
every goal that I had set to the point where I was
Yeah.
making like comical
You-
expectations
you
for
would
you to
call me
meet,
up-
and you hit them.
You'd be like, I need you to sell 100 mission packs today. And I was like,
And you said
no one can do
done.
that, Allison. Okay. I probably said done.
No, but like,
But then in the middle of the day, you'd be like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm at 57. And you'd be like, I need you to hit 100. I'd be like, there's nobody coming in anymore.
I always liked calling you down in admissions.
Yeah.
It was always a good
I could
time.
tell that you were getting kind of bored in the office. So you'd be like, let me go see what Michael's up to.
And you know what you were up to?
Yeah.
You were building these little hats.
those
out
little
of-
hats.
the
little
little
ships
origami boats
that we
Look,
find
oh, were they
everywhere.
boats?
I
Yeah.
bet I'd go to Sea Life and I'd still find them.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're
'cause
everywhere.
we get like these little paper tickets at the aquarium that you give to people, and sometimes you get little extra ones in admissions. And so I would be folding them up into little boats that they taught me at Legoland. We made so many of them. We would fill boxes with them at Legoland, and the managers told us to stop, so we put them in all the managers' drawers. We filled their drawers with these boats because they hated them, and so we
the
were like,
amount that there was one day I remember I came down and I was absolutely blown away at the amount
Yeah.
that you did, and
I kept
that
getting
was
to- I
the
kept
time I
getting
was
told
like,
to stop.
Michael's dedicated. Michael's
yeah.
dedicated to what he does, no matter what it is. If it's selling mission packs, if it's a bit, if
the
it's
customers loved them. They loved seeing them around because it's an aquarium, and they were like, "Oh, little boats, this is so cute. How much for one?" I was like, "You can have it." And they're like, "What?"
Whoa!
Yeah, and they were giving them to their kids. They're like, "Look how cute this is," and the kids were like, "Oh." They
You're
were
lucky
playing with
we
the
didn't
boats through
find
the
them in the
aquarium.
tanks. Like if we had found them in the
Oh.
tanks,
They're just like floating around. I honestly would have been impressed.
The
if they were
fish are
just floating
playing with
around.
them. Everybody loves them. So that's why the managers kept telling me to stop, and I simply did not because I was like, I'm selling more mission packs than anybody else.
that's true. We had to let you do whatever you
I was
wanted,
like-
and that was a
I had-
risky game.
I had gray shoes, and I remember my trainer kept telling me, who had like been there. I kept leaving and coming back from school, and so there would be like new trainers when I would come back, and so I'd be like, I had been here like before you, so I would come back, and this trainer would be like, sorry, you need to be wearing black shoes. You're wearing gray shoes, and I'd be like, no.
No, I sell mission packs. Do
No, like literally, like I'd be like, you.
you want a
You
boat?
might be trainer, but you've sold like 10 mission packs a day, and I've sold like
I just wanna
This is
point
so
out-
niche to our audience. This is so niche that I'm flexing about how many mission packs I sold at Sea Life.
But I'm also like really feeding into that ego because it was a good time. I miss those
I
years.
tried to tell you to stop. I tried saying stop.
Okay, but seriously, speaking of Allison feeding the ego, we'd have a shift at like Sea Life. I'd go on a date with Allison that night, and we'd be sitting there at dinner, and she'd go, "Berkan, Michael's the funniest person I've ever met."
Oh, don't say this while we're
It's
recording.
true.
Don't
I
let
mean-
everybody know.
I like.
a secret.
I'm pretty sure. Would you?
That is the nicest compliment anyone could give me. I'd much rather somebody call me like the funniest person they've ever met than like the hottest. Like
My favorite compliment is you smell good.
that's a good one too.
I
actually.
really like that compliment. If you want to make me feel good, tell me that I smell good.
Okay.
Noted.
I'll drop it on you then at like a random time so you don't think I'm just telling you
Good.
now just
No,
to make you feel
good.
good.
Thank
I'll
you.
keep that in mind.
Thank you. I did call you handsome before we started too.
I appreciate it. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I also like to compliment my husband, but like right now, my energy is really focused on Michael.
Right, because you guys
so
talk, you guys spend every day.
I'm
all
not
the time
I
together.
live with this
Yeah,
guy. You know what
so-
I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Allison, what was your favorite part about working at an aquarium?
Wait, can we pause that for just a second? I want to talk about the you smell good thing for a second because you got to be really careful with who you give that compliment to. Because if
Yeah.
you tell someone you smell good, they could be like, "Why are you smelling me?" Why
I
are
think
we-
it. I
why
think
are we
it
talking about my
comes.
smell?
You have to read the energy. You have
Yeah.
to be. I feel like that comes with the territory of being an empath.
And definitely, I feel like the inflection of how you say it too matters a lot.
Yes.
Because if you say
Yes.
you smell good, that's a little different than you smell good.
You smell really good, and like the
smell
eye
good.
contact has to be right, and the
Yeah.
facial, like your expression.
you have to be
It is an
very
art.
careful.
It is an
yeah,
art
with
to
how
tell
you-
someone
how
that
you
they
tell-
smell good.
Berkan is toned out, like zoned out right now. Berkan is like. This
No one tells me I smell good.
yeah. And also, I think he's a little jealous of our chemistry, frankly.
Honestly, it's.
Berkan's like-
I'm like.
Okay. He
I'm
should be grateful
intimidated.
for it.
Yep.
I'm intimidated.
Okay, so your
Anyway.
favorite compliment is you're funny. Mine is
Yeah.
you smell good. What's your favorite
Berkan.
compliment?
Oh, I love when people gas up my eyes. I can't
You do
help
have
it.
nice
Yeah,
eyes.
Eyes and hair. If
You
it-
have
it's
great
the
hair.
eyes or the hair.
Great eyes.
I
Yeah.
can't help it. It makes my day.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Allison hates it.
His was a
She hates
physical.
it.
You
His
married
was
this
physical
guy.
features.
You married this guy because he's physically attractive. Don't hate the
He's
fact that
pretty
he's
cute.
attractive. No.
No, there's
Well,
no
listen,
hate about it.
I would have loved being told how funny I am by my wife, but she's told me so many times that Michael's the funniest person that I know, so I had to move on to physical attraction.
Well, that's good. We round each
mean-
other out then.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
Like,
because we're
equal. So, favorite part of working at an aquarium then? That was Berkan's question that
Yes,
I really
I would like to
interrupted.
know.
There are a couple. I mean, it's hard to pick just one. I feel like it's a very personal thing for me. I mean, I've always loved animals,
Mhm.
and fun fact, I can't really swim underwater. I have terrible ears. It's a huge bummer. And being someone who's always loved like the sea and the sea creatures, I didn't really get to experience that
Wow.
because I would have loved to study marine biology. Instead, I studied people, which I also loved. But being able to work at an aquarium, I still got to engage with these animals the way that I really wanted to. And on top of that, I got to work with my best friends and my boyfriend, and I got to see them every day. That was such a cool. I mean, I had the job that I love with the people that I love the most, and I feel like, that feels so rare. And I look back on that now, I would have stayed forever if I could have, but
Yeah.
in this economy, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
you're not getting
yeah.
a whole lot of money doing
know
that.
what?
right,
kind of stuff.
exactly.
You know what's
But
still the rudest thing about my experience working with my then girlfriend, now wife, at an
The
aquarium?
rudest
The
experience?
rudest experience. I was so
be
upset.
careful.
Yeah.
I was so
careful.
upset. Maybe that's not the right wording, but this happened and I was really
They're
sad.
nice. They're nice.
But at Sea Life, we had shifts. Like if you were on the education team and you did your job, you were trustworthy, which I achieved despite my inability to clean tanks. Thank you very much.
Despite his eye condition.
Despite my
He overcame so much.
So you had the
He's a
privilege.
survivor.
You had the privilege of coming in at like 6 a.m. to do food prep
Yeah.
to like help the aquarius, and it made you really feel like the part of the aquarium ecosystem. You're prepping the food. And
Ecosystem.
then they exactly see what I did
People
there.
can be part of the ecosystem. I love that.
Yeah, and so you're part of the process. It's really cool. And so I was like, I need to get that because Allison does it, and that's like every morning I can do food prep with my girlfriend. Like that's awesome.
That is really cool.
I
That's
know where
really
this
cool,
is going.
Because it's not like most people who meet their like significant other at work, it's like they're doing something like paperwork or Excel sheets or something like that. But you guys are like
One of the first
interacting with
things.
animals. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the first things that we did together was feed sea turtles.
That's incredible.
Yeah, like she was training me on behind scenes. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna feed Siege." This was before we started dating.
She's like staring into your eyes.
She was like,
Lettuce,
like,
bell
because-
peppers.
because I'm training you, we're gonna feed some sea turtles today. And I was like,
They were my besties.
I was like,
Are
"You're
you
the love of
kidding?
my
Yeah,
life."
I love feeding the sea turtles.
but
They're so sweet. They're
Yeah.
like puppy dogs.
so I spent that whole first year that we were dating, and I was only really working at Sea Life as an education host for a year before I started getting promoted and transferred to other different departments.
He's flexing over before I started getting promoted.
We did a lot of flexing about the aquarium. on this episode. I was talking
If
about
Michael
I was
gets
talking
to
about damn
flex
mission packs.
his mission packs, I get to flex getting promoted in an aquarium. But
I
anyway,
get to flex being the best boss.
That's-
I
You
feel
were.
like
Oh, I
was
never got to
great.
mention this, but I've told you off camera before. But you were the best boss, and I hope that my current employers don't see this, but you were like the best boss I've ever had. You were so fun. You were constantly checking in on me, but checking in on me in like a fun way. And you were like, you put up with my shenanigans, and you encouraged me
did.
to go like further and further at the same time. So it's like I think
Thanks.
you accomplished like a lot as a boss.
That means so much. I mean, I love the people that, I surround myself with every day, and yeah, y'all were the best of the best. Like again, I just go back to that was the best time of my life.
Yeah, she's
Okay,
not wrong.
I need to be careful with like hyping y'all up
She's
too
not wrong.
much.
Also,
but
If my current employer sees this, you are also amazing. Anyway.
anyway, moving on.
Just to really quickly, a quick PSA. If you all hear some barking, that is Allyson and I's fur babies. They wanted to be part of the podcast. So
Well, they miss their mommy.
they missed.
When mommy's not around, they get upset.
I know, and I keep telling them, listen, mommy's leaving. Mommy's going to the podcast, you guys. And they say, Michael, no, don't leave us. And I say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry
Okay,
about it.
I need to continue my story.
Wow.
So anyway, I spent a year trying to get on this food prep level, trying to earn the Aquarius trust, and they finally sat me down. They finally like, Berkan, you've earned it. We're gonna start scheduling you for food prep. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be able to work with Allyson. I'm gonna work closely with her.
That's your thought. That's your first thought.
I was so excited. I was like, yes.
Okay.
I don't care that I'm waking up at 6 a.m.
Right.
I do not care that I'm doing this before going to class because I was in college. So I would come to Grapevine just for the food prep shift, and then I would go to class. I was so excited. My first food prep shift, not with Allyson. It's with Greg,
The irony
Who
is that
you guys are
I
also friends with.
schedule.
To this day.
who
It
ended up
sounds like-
after that point being my roommate for like 2 years. But anyway, not Allyson. So
The irony is that I scheduled those shifts too, so like I knew we weren't going to be
was so
together.
rude.
I didn't
You
know
scheduled
that's,
you scheduled Berkan with
well,
Greg
okay,
instead
I
of
didn't
yourself.
know that's why.
that's what.
Okay,
that's
I
the
didn't
whole
know that's
reason.
why you wanted to
It
do it.
was so rude.
Anyway,
and then
but-
I suffered through these food prep shifts. I'd go to class.
Drama, the
He
drama.
suffered.
Have you
With
ever
his eye
went to-
condition? Wow.
Have you ever went
Whoa.
to a college class smelling like fish, Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
No, because I wasn't a fucking loser, Berkan.
Okay, well, I was trying to be a
smell
loser
good. Like-
for the girl that I loved.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael. I was sacrificing my smell, even though we all know how great it is to be told how nice you smell. I was sacrificing that to be able to work closely with Allyson, which never happened.
And all your classmates were like, "This dude smell like fish."
Okay, well the reason for that though, I developed a very severe shellfish allergy
right when I became qualified.
right when he Yeah, like I developed
Wow.
that allergy
Developing
because
an allergy
I'm
as an
working at the
adult
aquarium.
sucks.
I know, it makes me feel like a baby. Like you think you'd grow out of allergies, am I right? Like
No,
why
you
am
grow
I
into
so Well, yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
scam.
it's just
That's a scam.
allergies are a joke.
You spend like your entire like adolescence like being able to enjoy stuff, and then you develop an allergy.
Yeah.
Like that sucks.
Well, I started feeding sea turtles and would notice like blisters and burning rashes, and I'm like, oh man,
That's
you
not
know, like
normal.
yeah. So I went to my allergist, and he was like, you will die if you eat them. Thankfully, I can still touch them, so like I would bear through
Because you just love touching shellfish. Sometimes I'll come over and you just got your
yeah.
hands deep into like a bowl of shellfish.
all the way up to my shoulders.
Yeah.
Like you gotta touch those suckers.
Don't get me started
Allyson-
on the bathtub. Don't get me,
Allyson, true or
That's why
false?
Berkan smells like fish all the damn time.
God.
True or false, Allyson? Did you or did you not lick a dead squid for a chocolate croissant?
That makes me sound like
What the fuck is this?
it makes me sound like really stupid, but I was young.
How young?
I was hip. I was like 24. I feel like I was prime. That was my prime.
Berkan, you're 25. Would you do that now?
No.
No, neither would I.
That is not
Hang on,
true. That's not
To be
true.
fair,
I was really hungry.
I would
and
get my
did-
own
2 months
I would
ago-
get my own chocolate
2
croissant.
months
I don't
ago
need
when
to
I
lick a
was
squid.
24, I probably would have done it.
2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 months ago. Well, I didn't have breakfast. It was with food prep with
Oh,
Greg.
that's a.
And I was really hungry. And at the time, we didn't know that. I was literally anaphylactic with shellfish. Granted, like, it wouldn't really affect me since it wasn't a shellfish. But he was like, if you lick the squid, I'll go buy a croissant. And I was like, your girl's hungry.
You
Like,
said this, Greg?
yeah.
Seems like something Greg would
Just
do.
give like a little lick, you know what I mean?
What a
And I
Greg is,
did.
yeah.
And it was a really good croissant. And so, you know, it is what it is. Can we talk about something else
Yeah,
besides the squid?
I have a really important question. Okay. Can we please go to Disney World? Like, why aren't you taking me to Disney World? It's been 58 days of me asking Allyson.
You don't have to tell me how many days.
So
in a row
here
it's
on Starlog on the podcast, will you take me to Disney
been.
World?
No, this has to stop. This has to stop.
Day 58. 58 days. Can you believe that?
I believe it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the answer's
Fine.
no, and it's gonna stay at no.
Ridiculous.
So,
I'll ask a
whatever.
different question. Was there anything growing up that you weren't allowed to do?
There was a lot that I wasn't allowed to do. I feel like a majority of it revolved around like TV and like things that I wasn't allowed to watch.
You also weren't allowed off the leash. That's a big one.
Oh, you were a leash.
I was a
child.
leash baby
That
because
changed my perspective of you forever. Like
in
when
what
I found
way?
that out.
In what way does it make
I
more
judge the
sense?
leash kids so hard. If you're a leash kid watching this, demand freedom.
Right,
As an
but
American citizen, you are granted liberty. Your parents cannot keep you on that leash.
Will our kids
Listen,
one
I
day be
would-
leash babies?
yes, they will. Yes, they will. I don't want to lose the kids. I was a terror. I was literally the worst kid. You can ask anybody.
Imagine your
And I
potential.
would-
Why do you say you were the worst kid?
because it's sad to talk about. Like there was a moment where I knocked out one of our nannies. She hated me. Yeah, it was
Michael,
very
you're a
like
pacifist. Shut
clever.
up.
It was very clever. So I just had a thing about this one nanny. I couldn't stand her.
I hope she's watching this.
The nanny.
Well, okay, so
We'll send it to her.
Yeah.
there were two things that I did to her, and I'll keep it short so I don't take up too much time. But this is an example.
This is your
of, like-
episode. You can take up as much time as you want.
all right, so let me tell you why I was a terror. That's how I want to spend this episode.
Okay.
So when we were younger, we would go on these family vacations like quite often. And one of the things that we loved to do as a family was to go to these dude ranches.
Dude ranch.
That's what they're called. So have you heard of a dude ranch?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So we would go to Colorado.
Can you explain for people who might not know what a dude ranch is?
I don't know why it's called that, but essentially it's just I want to say it's just like a camp where you can really settle into like a cabin and
Do fun activities.
yeah, like
horseback riding,
horseback ride, campfires.
archery.
It's essentially like not even like glamping, but it's like a community camping situation. So anyway, so I have two other siblings, Jessica and Mark. I'm the middle child, so
The best one.
it is the best one. Thank
I'm a middle
you.
child too,
Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, we're the best ones. So-
Underrated.
Middle child by like 10 seconds.
Underrated placement. Yeah, and Kristen hates it when
matters,
when I
though.
call myself
It
a middle child.
matters.
My twin sister, who is a minute younger than me, hates when I call myself a middle child.
It matters.
Or that I'm like her older brother. She hates it.
Wow.
But I'm
touchy.
like, here's the thing. Sorry to sidetrack you, but she would also like lie to her friends in high school and say that she was the older twin, and then I would find out and be like, no, I'm the older twin. And then she'd be like, oh my God, Michael, it doesn't matter who the older twin is. And I was like, if it doesn't matter, then why did you lie to people and say that you were the older twin? If it really didn't matter, just tell the truth.
Wow.
So
That's tough.
anyway, middle children. Let's go.
And lefties, am I right?
Yes, lefties.
Lefty middle child. Yeah, I
Oh
mean
my God.
it's
I'm going to
great.
zone out again.
All right,
That's
yeah, you're
fine.
done. You're
We're
done.
having a good time. You're done. Yeah. Okay. So back to the dude ranch though. So
Yeah.
we had two other siblings, and we're a handful. We're a lot as a kid. So because of that, my parents would have our nannies go on vacations with us. Like they really were part of our families. You know we were all very close.
Were you as a child a terror, or was it your relationship with your siblings that made you guys a collective terror?
Me?
Okay.
It was just me. Like I
At least
feel
she's
like
honest.
You know what? Actually, Mark's, your brother's speech at your wedding, now that I think about it, kind of does show
Whatever.
how
You
much
know
of a terror you
what?
were. He was saying how much you... Okay, anyway. His speech was like, she would drool on me, and then at the last second, like, slurp it back up. Like, she'd
That is
pin
a
me down and, like,
skill.
start to drool and then slurp it back up.
listen. It's a skill. You have to really.
And he was saying how
It's
much he would hit
another art.
him, and, like... But I get it. I have an older sister, so I get it, honestly, because he was the younger brother, so...
Okay.
I'm an only child.
She would bully me, too.
Oh.
feel
Yeah, that's
left
why you're
out.
like
I
this.
feel,
Yeah,
I
we
feel really
we
left
Yeah.
out right
know a
now.
lot about you because of that.
Oh,
fact,
you
but-
weren't beaten as a child?
Oh
Like,
no,
yeah.
poor Berkan.
You weren't drooled on by anybody? Oh, this guy. Oh, and his eye condition, too. Only child with an eye condition.
Oh my god.
It's
Okay,
really sad.
you're all right though. You turned out fine.
Yeah.
Now you have my siblings as your
Yeah,
siblings.
you got sibling in-laws.
That's right. Yeah. So back to the dude ranch.
I'm sorry I keep interrupting you.
You know it's all right.
Okay.
I'll allow it because
Nannies are on the dude ranch.
Huh?
Nannies are at the dude ranch.
Yeah,
with
so
you guys.
it's just the one. I had two nannies growing up. One of them I just absolutely adored, but I think she had moved or she got married or something, and so she wasn't our nanny anymore, retired, I guess, for lack of a better term. So the second one that we got, I couldn't stand her because she wasn't my first nanny. I never really gave her a chance. I was like, you're not who I want you to be, so I don't like you.
Your step nanny.
Exactly.
You didn't like your step nanny.
Nobody likes a step nanny. So she came on this vacation with us, and she was always telling me what to do, like only me. And
As a
again,
nanny,
like I know
okay.
why, because I'm a nightmare, and I always have been towards her, just because if I don't like you, you know,
Okay.
because that's just how I was as a child. And so there's this one night my parents went to go fly fishing, and I really wanted to go with them because I would have had to be left alone with her if I wasn't with them, and I didn't want that. So she said, "No, you're going to stay here. Y'all are going to hang out in the cabin tonight." And I was like, "Fine." And as soon as she turned her back, I sprinted out of our cabin. I didn't know where I was going. I was just like, "Freedom."
Yeah.
So I ran out of the cabin, and then I hear her screaming my name. I look back and I see her chasing me. And this is where it gets like spooky with how calculated I was. I like scan the horizon. I see my surroundings. I make some decisions. I let her get close enough to me to where at the last second, I ducked under this swinging sign and she was knocked out cold.
Oh.
And I did that on purpose.
You like essentially clotheslined her.
I
like
did.
using the sign.
And
Like,
she was knocked out cold.
Wow.
So that was the first time. And then the
She's
second
never
time
walked right
was
the same again.
woof.
Oof.
So, and then the second one, I was hiding from her in our house. We weren't on vacation, but I was hiding from her for so long. And she was crying and calling the cops. And I was just like watching her from my hiding space. Like,
Oh my God. You were playing hide and seek and you refused to come out. I feel
won.
like that's
That's pretty classic, I
yeah, I
think.
feel like that's a classic thing.
yeah,
Where it's
my
like
siblings wouldn't do that though.
Michael,
okay.
did you
I don't
do
know.
anything as a child to be a terror?
Not really a terror. My
So it's
teachers,
just me then in this room.
my teachers didn't like me the same way that like the trainers at like Sea Life didn't like me because I
They
would
don't like you?
no, I was not like a teacher's kid. Like I was a good student, but like I was too much of like a
A challenge?
I
Like, you
guess so.
challenge them?
Like I was never yeah, like and by
Where
challenge
you're like
it'd be
too smart, like you're too intelligent.
I wouldn't
that
even call it too intelligent. It'd be like I would just be calling them by like their first name,
Oh.
or like I'd be kicking my feet up during class. Like I was like listening and I was paying attention, but I was like, can we like
He was too comfortable.
can we drop like the professionalities? Like can we just be people for a second? And I feel like
As a little kid.
yeah. Well, I mean this is like high school or something, in middle school too. Like but yeah, like. So I wasn't like, going to ISS or anything like that. I wasn't breaking any rules or like laws or something. I was just sort of being like more relaxed, and teachers did not like that. They were like, you will follow the rules of this class. You will like sit like this and
sound like a
and pay
president.
attention. And like,
My
and I was like,
goodness.
I don't know. So I wouldn't call myself a terror now.
I don't know. I
Cool.
think
I'll hang on to that title.
I
then.
think I was a little bit of both. Like I feel like I was a good kid, but I definitely had my moments. There was one time when it was the summer after first grade going to second grade. I was put in a daycare. It was Children's Courtyard, and the Children's Courtyard was 2-story. So I was in the age group that was on the second story, and we had a block room, and the windows opened, which is a big no-no. But anyway, so me and a group of friends were like, we are tired of the fact that we have to be put in this like daycare every day on summer vacation. We want to go out and explore. We want to have adventures. We want to go to Grapevine Mills Mall.
They're gonna break out.
So we
Daycare breakout.
So we devised a plan, and like I grew up spending a lot of time my summers in Turkey. So in my head, I was like, oh, taxis are available everywhere, and they'll of course.
You think a taxi driver's gonna take a bunch of kids to daycare?
Exactly. I thought, why not? If we pay them, why would they not? So I brought a bunch
You're
of
gonna
quarters.
pay them? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had quarters. I brought a bunch of quarters.
Yeah, that's what I had quarters.
I brought a bunch of quarters.
Keep the
We
change.
brought blankets. We tied the blankets, and the plan was we can't just walk
It's
out
a
the
literal
front door.
prison break.
Yeah, we're gonna open the window in the block room. I'm gonna be tied with the blankets, and then I'm gonna
Repel.
rappel down. Well, I opened the window. We tied the blankets. I get out of the window and I step onto the ledge. I'm 6 years old, by the way, and I look down and I'm like, this is a bad idea.
We don't have enough blankets.
We don't have enough blankets. I was like, this isn't working.
We
I'm-
undercalculated.
This is a no go. I come
this
back.
sounds like Rugrats.
Exactly.
I
It literally was
love it.
Rugrats.
You were trying to be
I-
Tommy from Rugrats.
I came back out the window, and the rest of my team ratted me out. They snitched.
you?
Good.
Yeah, they
you?
just me because I was the only one who
They
went out
threw
the
you
window.
under the bus.
They threw me under the bus. So for the rest of the summer, I was never allowed in the block room again.
Berkan, I would have taken that to the grave.
Thank you. I know you would have. You would have been out there with me.
I would have.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't have let me do it alone.
Really?
Yeah.
100%.
All right.
100%. Well, Allyson, I think there's only one appropriate way to end this podcast, and that's with a brand new segment.
Yes.
Oh yes, I'm so excited for this.
I'm stoked. Okay, so my new segment. This is called Hinge Cringe.
What a good
Let me
name.
say it again. Let me say it again.
Yeah.
Hinge Cringe.
Hinge
So
Cringe.
good.
So
Such
I'll
a
kind
good
of
name.
explain what this is gonna be. So
This is
as
all Allison's idea, by the way.
yeah, this is my idea. So I'm sure you guys know online dating. It's all the rave, all the rave, all the rage. And so
There's this new thing called online dating. Have you heard of this?
have you heard of it? Yeah. So there's Hinge, and on Hinge, I never use dating apps, but I mean I have a lot of friends that are on dating apps, and I want to make it clear this isn't me like making fun or like
Not anti-dating apps.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, thank you. So I'm not like being anti any of that. So anyway, so there's Hinge, and I've seen and heard like these crazy stories of, on your profile in Hinge, you can record like a little voice memo.
Yeah.
And so what I really wanted to present to you guys is I have gone through Hinge. I created a profile. I went through this experience for you guys, and I wanted to present with you the opportunity to listen to.
Michael's so giddy.
I'm so excited for this.
I'm going to present 2 different voice memos, okay? I want you to listen to them, and I want you to pick who it is that you would go on a date with, okay?
Okay.
So be very deliberate. When you listen, I want you to consider positives. I want you to consider negatives. So can you guys do that?
I love this. Yeah.
I'm a
Okay,
little
I'm
scared.
really-
Do I have? Am I allowed to do this?
You're allowed to do it, and I can. So
I have permission. We're good.
Can we
We're
ask
good to
you
go.
questions?
I can date.
If we have any questions, can we ask you, and you can like make a call like a referee, like okay.
yeah, for sure. I'll do that for you guys.
Like
so.
okay. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's do this.
All right. It's very dark in there. I will say that I spent a couple hours, literally a couple of hours, that is wild to me, on this app trying to find really good options for you guys. So I have the 2 of you in mind. And
She went dating for her husband.
yeah. So unfortunately, I noticed.
She went online dating for her husband.
Unfortunately, I
Me
did
and my husband
notice,
really like your
though-
vibe, by the way.
Oh my God.
It sounds like something else.
Yeah.
Let's just
There
keep
were
going.
really only not a lot of women will do the voice memos, at least from what I have found. So a lot of them are going to be men.
Okay.
So just keep your mind open on that end. But okay, so there's a couple here. All right. Now, this is Bachelor number 1.
Bachelor number 1.
Bachelor number 1.
I'm envisioning that scene in Shrek
Good.
when he's like getting all the princesses.
Oh yeah, the magic mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, so Bachelor number 1. Here we go.
If your forehead's big, I will let you know. But I'm just pointing out the obvious. That's my talent.
That's my talent. Is pointing out the obvious.
Is his talent specifically pointing out whether your forehead is big? Or is it pointing out the obvious?
He said his talent is pointing out the obvious, but also it sounds like his talent is talking with a mouthful of food.
That's what I'm saying.
It
Okay,
sa-
so
it sounds like
it's
he's
giving,
chewing something.
Yes, it's giving honest vibes. It's giving.
You like this. You like the fact that he would like point out if your forehead's big.
No, because I'm very sensitive.
That was my thought too. It sounded like a threat. It sounded like if your forehead's big, I will
going-
let you know.
Yeah.
But like,
So-
why the forehead? Is that like a thing? Like
It's
people
like
that
the first thing you see. If it's
Michael,
when you look
if
at a
you
person
and I
for
went
the
on a
first time,
date,
it's a forehead that you know.
well, if it's a big it's not the first thing that I noticed, but it's like if it's a big forehead, you're making eye contact, forehead's right there.
but how often
Okay,
does that happen to
sure.
you?
Oh, stop.
Not often.
Don't look at my
But
forehead.
I kind
It's
of
just-
I understand why the forehead would be something that you see. You know.
So maybe he was just trying to be comical in a sense of maybe he's a really sweet guy, you know?
What is there a prompt like above the voice memo? Does it? say
Yes.
something?
Okay. So for this fella right here, this was, and I'll start doing that. Yes. So with these voice memos, there's a prompt. And so they'll basically answer the question or the prompt. So this one was a special talent of mine. We'll listen to it one more
Special
time.
talent is pointing out if your forehead's
We'll
big.
listen to him one more time before
Okay.
we go on to Bachelor number 2
Let's
for
listen to
your
Bachelor.
final
Okay, yeah.
decision. So again, our first fella, a special talent of mine.
If your forehead's big, I will let you know.
If your forehead's
But I'm
big.
just pointing out the obvious. That's my talent.
If
Okay.
your forehead's big, I will let you know.
He's hungry. He's,
I'm just pointing out the obvious.
you know what?
I-
Okay, so that was Bachelor number 1.
Bachelor number 2.
Bachelor number 2.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Now, the memo for this one, or the prompt for this one is, I'll fall for you if...
Oh,
dot,
boy.
dot,
You
dot.
This has potential.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I will fall for you if...
I'll fall for you if you fall for me.
I couldn't.
That's our number one. That's our number one. That's our
I'm
number
not
one.
number one. I'll fall for you if you fall for me.
Oh my gosh.
I imagine his
But
tongue out.
it's giving loyalty vibes. It's giving loyalty vibes.
No, it's not.
It's giving fuckboy vibes. The way he said that.
Yeah, loyalty.
If he just said, "I'd
What?
fall for you if you fall for," if it were just the words, fine.
He's like, if he was saying like, I'd fall for you if you stood by my side, if you were like my friend,
those are
whatever.
like wedding
that's,
vows, though. That's a
but
bit
that's
much
like
for a
that's
Hinge
more the
thing.
loyalty vibes that you were saying. He's just like,
I'm trying really hard to find positives for these fellas.
if you fall for me too, I will fall for you. If you say I love you first, I'll always say it. It won't mean anything.
So then,
That's the vibe I get.
Michael,
Yeah.
bachelor 1 or 2?
One.
Okay, forehead. 1 or 2?
Forehead.
Forehead. Easy.
One.
Forehead.
Okay, so then my follow-up
As a
question.
person with a big forehead, I'm taking the forehead guy.
My last and final follow-up question is, where would you take forehead to? Like, what would be your first date with forehead?
Probably.
I know exactly where I'd take forehead guy.
Probably like a circus mirror place.
Yes, I was gonna
You were
say an
thinking that
illusion
too?
museum.
So the
An
illusion
illusion
museum,
museum.
so that it
Yes.
could shrink the forehead or like
Yes,
make
you
his
could
look
see the-
huge. Yeah. So it's like if it's such a big talent of yours.
That is-
Equal. If it's such a big talent of yours, what's the
Yeah,
forehead look like now? Like,
let's get this all out in the open.
That is actually that's a great option.
Yes.
So, okay, let me pull up
Michael,
my last.
why aren't we dating?
Because your wife is right. Okay. Anyway, so let me pull up my last 2.
oh, we got more.
We got more.
Yeah, we
I
have one
love
more.
this game.
I'll
I
have
love
one
this
more
game.
round for you guys.
Okay, cool.
So this next one, he's a fun guy. Okay.
Okay.
He's.
How do you know
gonna
he's a
have
fun guy?
Because
Does he say I'm a fun guy?
no, because
Wait,
his
it sounds like a setup.
prompt,
Wait.
his prompt is my best celebrity impression. Okay.
Ooh.
All right,
this
so
is-
my best celebrity
Oh.
impression. Here we go.
All right, this is definitely going to seem weird to like a majority, but I do a mean impression of Isabel from Animal Crossing. Thank you.
Whoa!
Are
that
you
was
kidding
so
me?
good.
Now we have a goofy guy here.
We got a goofy guy, and he's self-aware because he said
He's
this is
self-aware.
gonna be this is gonna sound weird to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
which to me means he's not a weird guy because he knows that what he's doing isn't like normal,
he's cultured.
he knows that it's funny,
Okay.
and he's cultured.
To choose Isabel from Animal Crossing?
It is a choice.
Because you got to develop that too. That's not something you're born with.
No, that's
You got to play
something-
Animal Crossing, then
But
you got
how
to.
did he know? How did he know that he
That's
was
actually
good
pretty
at
good, too.
it? How did he know that he was good at it though?
Wait, do it again.
Let me try again. No, hold on. It was better the first time.
Okay, wait. Now I need to try because I need to see if this is an impression. Because if I can do it, then it's not impressive anymore. Ready?
See, I don't think ours is as good as his.
Okay. Okay. Good. Then yeah. Okay, I'm still impressed.
I'm impressed.
I'm
Okay.
impressed.
So that was Bachelor number 1.
Wait, can we listen to it one more time?
Sure, I'm happy to do that. Okay, here we go.
All right, this is definitely going to seem weird to like a majority, but I do a mean impression of Isabel from Animal Crossing.
It's so good. It's so much
Thank you.
better than ours.
This sounds weird, but it's like the perfect amount of like liquid in the impression.
Liquid.
Don't like that.
So liquid compared to what? Solid? Like what do you mean? Like
It's like it just
Gas.
added a level of it wasn't just like a dry like brr, 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 brr. It just added like a level of
yeah.
realism to Isabel.
I understand what you're saying. Allison's giving me a look, but I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be hard to top.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All right.
hope-
Well,
oh. Let's see.
now I don't even want to give a preface to this one. This is one of my favorites.
No introduction.
So I don't even want
Needed.
to.
All right. All right.
So our prompt here is a shower thought that I recently had.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Should I shampoo and condition my pubes?
Michael, we're going to do it one more time. I need you to, Michael. Michael,
Okay.
we're going to
okay.
do it one more time.
Okay.
And I want you to really put yourself in the mindset and the headspace that he was in. I want you to picture yourself in the shower.
And I see the shampoo
I
and the
want
conditioner there. and I'm doing
And I
my
want
hair.
you. Okay, so here we go.
And
We're
I'm looking-
showering. We're showering.
I'm looking down. And I'm thinking.
Should I shampoo and condition my pubes?
Now, here is what's great to me. If you go back and you listen to it, he's at the gym.
What do you mean he's at the gym?
Listen to the you can hear the weights like clanking on the ground. Do we hear it again? Let's do it one more
One
time.
more
again.
time. I want
One more
I
time.
need to hear the weight.
Listen to that's at least that has to be what it is.
Should I shampoo and condition my pubes?
I hear something.
He's at the
He's
gym.
in public.
That
It may
has
not be
to
the
be
gym,
the
but he's in
gym.
public.
That might be like a door, like a garage door slamming. Like he could be like one of the loaders, like a grocery store or something. Like they could be bringing up the truck and they're closing the truck door after they get the grocery. You know what I mean? Like it's some sort of
Yeah.
heavy metal.
It doesn't matter though because if he's in public thinking about those pubes,
And
The
putting that
hygiene.
on a dating app. So he's
Right.
like he's making his dating app profile and thinking about his pubes.
so let me give you some pros.
I think he's just trying to like give the audience a full picture. You know, like
of
this is
what?
this is what to expect with me. This is what I
So
I
let
got
me
going
give
on down there.
Let me give you.
Both of these guys are very themselves. But
Right, so
neither of
here's-
them are hiding.
Here's
anything.
the positives that I wanted to leave you with before you choose your next bachelor date. The first one, we got a goofy guy. We've already established that he's goofy. He doesn't mind looking ridiculous. He's very vulnerable in a different way than the second one. The second one, he's self-aware. He's very passionate about hygiene. You smell good. Am I right? Like
Ooh.
that, maybe that's his favorite compliment.
Okay.
And he just wants to share his thoughts on
Smell good
I-
down there.
Smelling good.
If he really, here's my problem: is that if he really cared about hygiene, at least from my perspective,
Mhm.
he should shave his pubes, not shampoo and condition them.
I don't like where this has gone. I don't like where this
You're the one who
conversation-
brought up
But that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
no,
he
but
was
like-
providing. He was like being pretty sly and giving the picture of what he's like down there. So if you have a preference, like Michael does,
That's true. Like, I guess if you're going to have him, let's keep it clean. Let's keep it hygienic. So, with that, gentlemen, I'll start with Berkan this time. Bachelor 1 or 2? We got Animal Crossing or pubes? Okay. Michael.
I have some questions, and this is why I preface with like, can I ask you like referee style questions?
Okay. Go ahead.
So, am I me, or am I like a woman, or am I gay? Like, am I like?
I see what you're
I'd be
asking.
friends with this guy. This would be my boyfriend as a woman. This would be my boyfriend as a guy. Am I looking for a relationship? Am I looking for a quick fling?
Whoa. Okay.
for me, I went.
What is the
For
hypothetical
me,
situation?
I was like,
Right.
in this situation, who is gonna? Since they're all guys, I was like, who compares the most to Michael? And the one that I would enjoy spending my time with the most was guy.
Yeah.
Because I would play Animal Crossing with Michael and I have a good time.
Yes,
Michael's
we'll do
the
that.
standard
We'll
for
just
me.
say like a blanket, like who would you want to spend your time with?
Okay. If I'm feeling crazy and chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
the pubes guy, I know we're going on some crazy wacky adventures.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if I was looking for like a relationship or something, I'd be like, and if I was looking for a fling, I'd do pubes guy. You know,
So you're pretty torn.
Exactly. I'm torn based on what the situation is, and that's why I was asking, because I wasn't just asking for the sake
This
of
is
asking.
about to
I'm like,
get. This is going to get on a deeper level of where Michael feels like he is.
I
in his
want
life.
your answer romantically.
romantically. It's
Okay.
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 And that's
so
because,
then
that's also because I'm not coming to it like as from a fling perspective again.
Right.
Like this would be like romance. This would be if you're on Hinge. Like Hinge is probably more of like you're looking for a relationship app versus like
Yeah.
Tinder or Bumble or something.
I wish I could
not saying-
find more women doing the voiceovers, but there's just
That's
something.
fine.
Okay,
the
I
men
feel
are
like
more
I feel like we
confident,
got
they're-
good, we got
So
to
then-
We got some good ones.
Yeah. Lastly, then where are we taking him?
Oh, where are we taking? Okay.
Arcade?
Oh man,
Where are you taking? Guy.
I'm taking guide to the world of Peppa Pig.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like I want to see more of his impression abilities with that kind of animal character vibes.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Michael, where are we going?
I think I'm taking pubes guy. to the bowling alley, but we're throwing the balls at people. Like we're throwing the balls like
That's pretty
like perpendicular at
neat.
people's ankles.
That's
like the chaos is just like I feel like there's so much chaotic energy in that guy. I'm like I just want to go like tear down the town. You know what I mean? I want
Love
to go.
that.
Yeah.
Love that. All right, that's
Yeah.
great.
I want to take him to an
thank you.
airfield and hijack a plane. I want to take him to like I want to take him to the aquarium and like cook a fish.
You know what?
What about like a spa day though to support that hygiene?
Spa day.
I bet Pubes guy would take me. To
I don't
want to
take you. I don't want to ruin what made him so chaotic. Is the thing.
Yeah,
don't-
yeah.
Man, that was a good segment, Allison. I'm
Thank
proud
you
of
for
you.
joining me today for Hinge Cringe. I really enjoyed that. What are our thoughts? What are our opinions? Did we enjoy it?
I think it was a good segment.
I really
Proud
liked
of you.
it. I loved it.
I'm proud of you.
And I love the way that you hosted it too.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I love your commentary.
I-
Who would you pick for the two? Actually, for the first and second
Alright.
one.
Oh, this is interesting.
Who are my first two?
You have forehead guy. You have.
Oh, I would date you if you would date.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I would
yeah.
like you.
The impression guy and then Pubes guy.
I would choose impression guy. So that's my choice there. The
Does it
first
make
one,
you laugh?
yeah, it was funny.
Another person funnier than me.
Okay, first one. This one's tough. Oh, I guess I would do forehead guy. I don't know. I don't
So
have.
we're
much
all
of a-
agreed on forehead guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
forehead guy or Isabel guy. Or no, you didn't pick Isabel guy. You picked.
But you
Pubes
guys should.
Would you take out of the two?
the impressionist.
Yeah, I kind of actually. You know what? I think
He's
I
a
take.
sweet guy. You know
I
what
think
I
I take
mean?
the forehead guy in this situation just
Really?
because I really like the idea of taking him to an illusion museum.
So it's just
You got
because
a
of the
forehead?
date.
Yeah.
You got a forehead? I'm telling you.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Well, that was, I think, a great episode with my wife. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for being our first guest.
Thanks
Sal.
for
We'll
having
definitely
me.
have to bring you on in the future for sure.
Whenever you want to do the
Appreciate it.
segment,
Whenever you want Hinge.
I am
Cringe.
now devoted to Hinge in a way that is.
You gotta look out. Buddy.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
so I'm happy to come back anytime.
Well, my name's Allison.
I'm Berkan.
Am I Michael?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, I'm Michael.
Wait. You can be Berkan and you be Mike, but you can't be Michael.
So I'm Allison.
I don't want to be Berkan.
Berkan,
And
pick who you want to be. We do this
I
every
don't want an
episode.
eye
Pick who you
condition.
wanna be.
I don't want an eye
I
condition.
don't want an eye condition. Do I have to be Berkan?
I don't want
All
an eye
right.
condition.
I'm Michael.
I'm Allison.
I'm Berkan.
And we'll see you guys next time.